All I can say is that the fake news just doesn't get it, do they? They don't. And the fake news are always giving Joe Biden a great big fat pass whenever he gets caught in a great big fat lie or a little lie or a fib or an exaggeration like this one today.
And anyway,
and if we
I
don't
should drive an 18-wheeler, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish
I could. That's
I
awesome.
got to.
All right. Yesterday, actually, Joe was a truck driver. Did you hear that? Joe used to drive an 18-wheeler. Made it sound like he drove from Scranton to Miami, Florida, 4 times a month. No, he drove once in 1973 as a U.S. Senator. It was a VIP deal. He wrote about it, or somebody in his office wrote about it. It sounded like he was exploring some exotic place. He had never been, a truck stop, and talking to truckers, but he had to wrap up the trip and get back to Washington. As the article relates, the senator returned to D.C. by plane yesterday afternoon, saying he intended to go before the Senate this week with the complaints he heard. All right, he talked to some truckers in 1973, and that makes him a truck driver, huh? Politicians do that. It's one of the reasons why I really like President Trump. You know what? He didn't pretend he was a truck driver, even when they all came to the South Lawn. But what he showed was an appreciation and a respect for truck drivers, and even a lot of enthusiasm about what it might be like to drive a truck. But he didn't pass himself off as a truck driver. But Joe Biden, his exaggerations, his fibs, and outright lies are legendary, but they're actually fading from memory because the media, they're protecting him. We're not. I'd like to show you a clip of some doozies that he said at a campaign event back in 1987. Virtually everything you're about to hear him say as he convinces somebody to vote for him is a lie.
What law school did you attend, and where did you place in that class? And the other question is, could you quickly, I think
I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. In the first year in law school, I decided I didn't want to be in law school and ended up in the bottom 2/3 of my class, and then decided I wanted to stay, went back to law school, and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I won the international moot court competition. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only need 123 credits, and I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
All of it. All of it is not true. And back then, this was 87, 88, the mainstream media, they were not reluctant to call out Democrats, and they did, big time.
Now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
When you lie that big on that stage, when you're in your mid to late 40s, you don't get over it. I mean, your character is formed. And when you lie about big things, you lie about small things, and always in a political sense, always in a way to try to get people to like him and exaggerating along the way. Take a look at this.
Our next questioner is Leah Connolly, a Democrat from Philadelphia. She's a program coordinator and museum educator. Leah?
Philly girl. I married a Philly girl.
Ooh, Philly girls are the best.
Married a Philly girl. Philly girl. Oh, I can connect with you. Philly girl. Well, Jill did not grow up in Philadelphia. She grew up way outside, almost 30 miles outside of Philadelphia in Willow Grove. That's not Philly. It's like me saying I'm a Brooklyn boy. And that applies, by the way, to his first wife, who grew up in upstate New York. So strange, right? And then I think this is borderline stolen valor. Joe Biden saying that he was shot at in Iraq when he wasn't.
You have great personal courage. I've been with some of you when we've been shot at.
I've been with some of you when we've been shot at. He's talking about Iraq. It's a bunch of diplomats. Joe has been caught many times. He actually, there's a book that came out even before this talking about how he had once said he had been shot at in Iraq. He has done this so many times, but he always has to revise it. He always has to revise it. His revision, his new statement is, I was near where a shot landed. All right, that's a big difference from being shot at. You know that, I know that. Joe should know that. But let's face it, if you're on the far left, if you're a Barack Obama, if you want to get things done and you don't want to attract too much attention to yourself, Joe Biden just might be your guy.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.